Something is seriously off with the Pixel 11 lineup. Not because of what leaked, but because of what didn't. Every model is out there, every angle exposed, and yet it feels like Google held something back. Not a feature, not a spec, but an entire sense of progress. And once you notice it, you can't ignore it. All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back. Glad you're here because this one might be more important than it looks. So over the past few weeks, the Pixel 11 lineup didn't just leak, it unraveled. One by one. First the Fold, then the standard model, then the Pro, and now the Pro XL. And normally, this is where hype builds. You start spotting upgrades, new design language, something that makes you go, okay, this is the next step. But this time, that moment never really comes. Because when you actually look at these devices side by side, the differences feel almost invisible. The Pixel 11 Pro XL, for example, is nearly identical in size and shape to the previous model. We're talking tiny fractions of a millimeter. Same display size, same flat edges, same overall footprint. It's so close that if someone handed it to you, you'd probably think it's last year's phone. And that's not just the XL. The Pixel 11 Pro follows the exact same story. Same familiar design, same proportions, same feel. Even the standard Pixel barely shifts the formula. It's like the entire lineup decided not to evolve visually this year. But then, there's one detail. The camera bar. Google made it fully black this time, stretching cleanly across the back instead of blending it with the phone's color. And, weirdly enough, that small change actually works. It looks sharper, more consistent, a little more premium without trying too hard. But here's the thing. It's also the only change you can clearly point to. And that's where the conversation gets interesting. Because this doesn't feel accidental. When an entire lineup looks this consistent, this controlled, it usually means the focus has shifted somewhere else. And with Google, that somewhere else is almost always software. Now think about it. Google has never been the company chasing raw specs just for headlines. Instead, they build around experience. The way the phone thinks, processes, adapts. And that's where the Tensor G6 chip comes in. On paper, it'll bring better performance, sure. But that's not the real story. The real story is what it enables. Faster on-device AI, smarter image processing, more natural voice interactions. The kind of upgrades you don't see, but you feel every single day. And here's where things get a little unexpected. There are rumors that Google might reduce RAM on some models, from 16 gigabytes down to 12 gigabytes. At first, that sounds like a step backwards, but it could actually mean the opposite. If Google is optimizing everything tightly around AI and efficiency, they might not need the extra overhead anymore. Or they're making a trade-off, because pricing is becoming a real battlefield. Flagship phones are getting more expensive every year, pushing into uncomfortable territory. And if Google can keep the Pixel 11 lineup slightly more affordable while still delivering a premium experience, that's a strategy that could pull in a lot of people. But it comes with a risk, because visually, these phones don't scream upgrade. They whisper it. And in a market where attention is everything, that can either feel refined or forgettable. Now here's the part that hasn't leaked yet. And this is where things could flip completely. Google surprise factor. Every year, there's usually at least one feature that doesn't show up in leaks. Something software-driven, something powered by AI, something that suddenly makes the hardware make sense. And if that happens again, this entire safe design approach might actually feel intentional, even smart. But if it doesn't, then this could be the first time in a while where a Pixel launch feels stuck. And that's why this matters more than just another phone release. It's about direction. Is Google quietly redefining what a flagship should be? Or are they slowly losing the edge that made Pixel exciting in the first place? We're going to find out soon, but I want to know what you think. Scroll down and drop your opinion. Are you okay with a familiar design if the software is next level, or do you expect something new every single year? I read those comments, and honestly, they shape what we talk about next. And make sure you stick around, because as more leaks drop and we get closer to launch, there's always that one detail nobody saw coming. And if it shows up, it could change everything.